It has almost been 100 days since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2024, and if you're like any other F1 fan, you're probably going insane with absolutely nothing to do. And to make matters worse, it's not like any of the F1 related stuff going on off the track is that interesting either. I'm sure you can't wait for the next season of fake beef and drama on Drive to Survive.
Qualifying's all important because it determines your starting position on the grid. The fewer people that start ahead of you, the fewer people you've got to overtake to win on Sunday.
But yeah, safe to say I'm not going to be watching any of the great takes Bucks and cooks up. Aside from Drive to Survive this season, we got our first launch event at the O2 Arena. F1 thought that they could charge people upward of $80 to get in so they could see what they called an immersive event. I mean seriously, £113. You get the idea. Basically, none of the drivers wanted to be there. The weird part is, though, that F1 and the presenters were making jokes about this.
Yes, he is so excited to be here right now. Give it up for Max Verstappen!
No comments.
Okay, I'll stop dragging it. You get the idea. It wasn't the best thing ever. But, you know, it's the first time they've done it, so hopefully it's better next year. In other news, F1 and LEGO have an official partnership now. Here's some of the sets that they released. Even better, there's going to be races as well, apparently, hosted by the GOAT, Will Buxton. So you best believe I'm going to be watching every single LEGO race that is offered this season. But don't worry, the purpose of this video isn't for me to yap about relevant stuff. First, I'm going to summarize the Bahrain preseason testing. Who was fast? Who was slow? I don't know, something else? It's really actually not that interesting. Then I'm going to take you through the 2025 driver lineup because there's been a lot of changes. Some changes that you probably know about, some that you're not too sure about, and also just other things in general, and predictions I got for the season. Okay, let's get into it. So basically all the cars look the same. Sure, a thing or two have changed, but unlike other YouTubers, I'm not about to drag out a 20-minute video and spot the difference. You can do that yourself. Instead, here are a few of my favorites. The Ferrari looks more like a printer now. I guess they're going for paper team orders rather than using the radio.
Maybe I'll check in now.
Stay out!
So my favorite livery goes to the Redbull Junior team. They're running a nice white one, similar to what Redbull ran in the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix. Looks really good on the car. Williams wins the award for the best sponsorship placement on their car. Good job, Williams, I guess. Speaking of brands, Rolex is gone. Louis Vuitton is now absolutely everywhere. And I mean everywhere, all over the track. They are milking this. Back to actual racing though, this is the fastest lap out of the 3 days of the Bahrain preseason testing. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is Carlos Sainz in a Williams. He didn't even improve in the final sector. Okay, I might actually have to stop the tractor jokes. Here's the rest of the times from preseason testing. I know it's small, look at the country flags, you'll be fine. What else? Ocon set the most laps, so he gets the participation award. It rained a bit, Ocon stayed out in the rain, and I already missed the Rolex sponsorship. But that's about it. We're not going to know who's winning till next week in Melbourne anyway. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about the drivers lineup of this year. To make this easier to follow, what we're going to do is we're going to use the reverse constructor standings of last year. So that's Kick Sauber first and McLaren last. So let's start with Kick Sauber. Less commonly known as Stake F1 team, if the companies Stake and Kick don't mean anything to you, you're lucky. Stake is an online crypto casino that is definitely not rigged.
Hello, ladies and gents.
Whereas Kick is a streaming platform where people stream themselves gambling. What a combination. Just look at all of their authentic reactions. Like any company backed by an online casino or a streaming platform, you can imagine how this transfers to performance on the track. It doesn't. It took the team 23 races to get points. In simpler terms, if your brand ambassadors are Drake,
Embarrassing!
or Aiden Ross, you are going to run into problems.
Obviously, we are going to gamble tonight.
Problems like Audi buying you out at the end of the year. Yes, that's happening. Goodbye, Kick Stake Sauber. It was fun. Anyhow, this year they've got Nico Hülkenberg in one of the cars. Can't wait for all the Hulk-related jokes. And the reigning F2 champion, Gabriel Bortoleto. Good luck, guys in green. Up next, we've got Williams. Despite promising testing results from the team in Bahrain, in recent years, Williams has redefined the term bare minimum. Convincing a new F1 fan that Williams somehow achieved 114 wins and 9 championships in the past is like convincing me that pole is not the best spot on the grid to start. Even Drive to Survive has this on lock.
You want to start from the front because it means you've got the other 19 drivers starting behind you.
Okay, but seriously, gone are Williams' glory days with Senna and Prost. Lately, Williams has been home to fan favourites Latifi and Sargent. Now, despite my urge to make a million tractor jokes, now that Carlos Sainz is at the team alongside team principal James Vowles, I have hope that they can achieve something this year. Plus, Albon's also a talented driver. I hope that fastest lap in Bahrain meant something. Right, now we've got Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri, Cash App Visa, Racing, but whatever their name is, this team needs to be more focused on getting somewhere on the grid than changing their driver lineup. Seriously, since 2019, the team has had 3 different names and 8 different drivers. If that is not a sign, I do not know what is. Lock in Racing Bulls, put the fries in the bag, and do not redeem the car. I'm talking to you, Yuki. No more Apex Legends. Lock in on F1. The simulator's calling your name. I'm being harsh though.
No, these guys are fucking retarded.
Yuki is easily one of the best personalities on the grid, and I'm rooting for him to get that second Red Bull seat that's 2 years overdue. This is Yuki's new teammate. Isaac Hajar is lining up alongside him this year, and he has just as colourful language as Yuki does. I don't know too much about him, but he's the guy behind this clip that you may have seen in the Monaco tunnel, so his reactions are crazy. Point being, I think him and Yuki have some talent between them, so I'm hoping that they can get some points this year. Also, at this Fever Dream event, who is this guy making fun of Yuki?
Short Kings assemble. Come on, I know you got little legs. Yuki, you're gonna need to work double time because of them little legs.
Excuse me, what? Take off your high heels, little bro. You're not him. Think about your actions.
Now that's white. Looking like a pair of turkey teeth.
Where did they find this guy? The next team I'm talking about is Haas. Former team principal Gunther Steiner now seems to be enjoying retirement. No, but seriously, the guy's actually smiling for a change. It's nice. The only people unhappy about this are Netflix.
Last year, for 2 points, and I would have fucked the whole paddock.
After somewhat of a disappointing season, both Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen were axed from Haas. However, the team dynamic will be no different, with notorious homewrecker Esteban Ocon taking the torch. After his conquest in Spain against Fernando Alonso,
I love the winner, thanks to our friend.
he then incited a civil war against Gasly in France.
What did he do?
Now Ocon dares to navigate the Eurotunnel and take on the British Empire against Ollie Behrman. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel. But based on how he treated his past 2 teammates, Ocon is gambling with World War III. In a more positive light, Haas's new team principal seems to get less phone calls from G and is steering the team in the right direction. Don't forget, Ollie Behrman also performed pretty well last year, so they could get points. Alpine. Similar to Williams, over the past few years, they have just gotten worse and worse. Their 2 world championships and 21 wins serve as nothing but a good memory. Rumour has it Jeremy Clarkson is the last remaining Alpine fan. In fact, I'd argue that most of Alpine's chassis seem to be coming from Clarkson's farm.
Quite like this one, look, the Super Major.
You can't even just blame one driver for this.
Besties on the podium, baby!
I mean, they're not even making their own engines at the end of this year anymore. Moving on, Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly are the lineup for Alpine this year. They both seem to get matching buzz cuts over the summer to improve their aerodynamics, which seemed like a great idea until they realized that Alpine had money for the helmet still. This buzz cut makes Jack Doohan look like Robert Kubica, welcome back. He's escaped his hospitality duties at Alpine though, and he's finally got a seat this year, so it's good to see him on the grid. Hopefully for a while though, because he only got a 6-race contract, which seems pretty unfair. But if everything goes according to plan this year, he'll be the 3rd Australian driver on the grid, which would make me very happy. Oh, here we go. Aston Martin. Lance Stroll yab incoming. Quite possibly the worst driver in recent history and every YouTuber's favorite talking point. Lance Stroll, son of Lawrence Stroll, is proof that there are only 19 drivers on the grid. Stroll has done it all. He's crashed in the formation lap. He's crashed in the cooldown lap. He's even crashed behind the safety car.
Constantina effect.
To spell it out, he's had 29 retirements out of 166 race starts, giving him a 17.5% retirement rate, which is an achievement on its own in modern F1. Now, if you still don't believe me, that's fine. Let's take a look at Lewis Hamilton. The guy's been racing for 10 years longer than Lance Stroll and only has 3 more retirements than him. You can pause the video here if you don't believe me. The bottom line is, if your teammates are Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso and you don't get better, I can't help you. Okay, Lance Stroll yap over, I'm sorry. What can I say? I just want to see Fernando Alonso win again. But look, Adrian Newey's at the team now, and he's even sleeping at the factory, so you never know. Alonso still could get that next championship, please. Alright, the next team I'm talking about is Mercedes. Like your average crypto bro who's delusional and upset that he missed out on Bitcoin, Toto Wolff was so upset that he missed out on Max Verstappen, he decided to put an 18-year-old in the car who wasn't even around on Earth when the first tweets came out. The Wii is nearly older than him. So not only have Mercedes lost their poster boy Lewis Hamilton, they've also lost their main sponsorship Tommy Hilfiger. I'd argue that they've also lost the plot.
Yeah, but you're from Bologna, I'm surprised you're not like patriotic with
Bolognese.
Before any of you keyboard warriors have a go at me, I'm only joking. Kimmy's probably going to do a good job this year, and he's only 18. If Toto Wolff was my boss then, I'd also be scared. Lining up alongside him is George Russell, who's now taken the leadership position at Mercedes. The fashion model and sportsman still makes time for his part-time job as an F1 driver, so he's still got time for his skincare routine. Don't worry about that.
You are my sunshine.
Up next, we've got Red Bull. Christian Horner would have you believe that his team is on the comeback. However, after the Google Drive incident, alongside Daniel Ricciardo mistreatment, I refuse to believe anything that the guy's got to say. His team's crumbling from within. They fumbled the Constructors' Championship, Perez forgot how to drive his car, and the pit wall was in tears. The guy needs to focus more on his team dynamic and security of his WhatsApp password than attacking other team principals for no reason.
Change your fucking...
After playing bumper carts with Lando Norris too many times last season, Max Verstappen could be getting a race ban down the line. Needless to say, Liam Lawson's villain arc will come to an end as he will be humbled by Max. By no means am I a Liam Lawson hater, but Red Bull's days in the sun are over. I'm preying on the team's downfall, and I do not want to hear the Dutch national anthem again this year. Ricciardo mistreatment doesn't go unpunished. Up next, we've got Ferrari. You would have to live under a rock if you didn't know that Lewis Hamilton is at the team this year, based on all the social media pages milking it. But it's fair enough. I thought the guy was going to retire for a long time based on how upset he looked, but now he's smiling again, and he's got his old physio back at Ferrari with him. You never know, this could be his 8th championship year. After all, everybody's a Ferrari fan. However, if you've watched F1 for a while, you would know that Ferrari drivers don't smile, and this is mainly because of bad strategy. In saying that, Frederick Vasseur seems to be steering the team in a good direction away from all these negative stereotypes. And I mean, hats off to them. They came second in the Constructors' Championship last year and nearly won it. So even though I'm not that happy with them getting rid of Sainz, based on all of their historic success and this upward trend, this could be the time that they break the curse. Thanks for sticking around this far.
I appreciate you.
The final team to talk about is McLaren. These guys are going to be on a massive high after winning the Constructors' Championship in the last race last year, which is rightfully so. They haven't won since 1998, which is about 27 years ago now. And similar to Ferrari, these guys are not perfect.
Yeah, shut up!
They've had some questionable strategies in recent years, but what do I know? I mean, they still won the championship. McLaren retained both Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris for this season, making it arguably the most balanced lineup on the grid. Now, no hate to Lando, but after he struggled to beat Max last year, he may not have as much confidence going into the beginning of the next season, meaning that Oscar could even be faster. Only other thing worth saying is Oscar now doesn't like Stroll.
He had Stroll driving like it was his first go-kart race, but I don't know what went through his brain when he saw his blue flag.
Just another reason why he's going to be the driver I'm rooting for this season. Definitely not because of his country of origin. Okay, but let me not exclude Norris here. I hope they both go well this year. But there you have it. That's the 2025 driver lineup. I can't wait for the first race a week from now. The only other thing to talk about is the rule changes. There's not many though. They're getting rid of the fastest lap points, so you're not going to get any more clips like this.
What's the fastest lap?
We are not concerned about that at the moment, Max.
Yeah, but I am.
This is also the last year of DRS being used as an overtaking aid before the 2026 regulations kick in. But that's about it. All the other rules are kind of niche and don't make good video content. You can go to f1.com and have a look. I reckon that's it though. Thank you for joining me for my first F1 Yapathon. If you made it this far, let's be honest, you decided to watch this and not scroll reels, so I'd appreciate it a lot if you'd like and subscribe. That'd be pretty cool, I guess. Also, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so I guess I could promise that I'll upload once a week, but let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen, so you could leave your ideas in the comments and maybe I'll do them, maybe I won't. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.